Howard, that quarterback that you guys had to chase all day is on his third program, very experienced. What did you see maybe on film leading into it that concerned you about just the whole game that he has, and what did he show you today?
I mean, every good quarterback is a scrambler, and they could throw passes out of the scramble. So there's a lot of times a lot of D linemen came free, and he was a good quarterback. He made good shots. So even when he was scrambling, he can make the shots that counted. That's what happened.
When a team like yours loses to a team people don't know as much about, they're going to say, well, they didn't take them seriously. What can you say to that as a group? Do you have any concerns that you guys, the natural is to have a letdown after we go from Ohio State to Marshall?
I mean, look, the whole thing was because our whole thing was we were focusing on Ohio State because it's Ohio State the whole time, and then suddenly we're at Marshall, and the whole thing was do not look at Marshall because they had a good season last year and the year before, so we can't undermine Marshall. I mean, they were a good team, so they're gonna do well this year.
We'll go to Pete, front row to your right.
Howard, Marcus was in here talked about trying to get a run stop at the end of the game. What did Marshall do there at the end? Is there anything you would point to and be like, okay, this is what we need to clean up defensively?
I mean, just we were focused on the passing a lot during because their pass game, but their running back was like a 5-star transfer or something like that. So they have a really good running back, and I mean, he was all over the field, but they really, really emphasized ripping the ball out, but he had a good handle on that thing the whole game. So
it seemed like Marshall did a good job of getting the ball to perimeter really quickly. I don't know how much of that was a focus during prep or if that was different than maybe what you guys had expected.
I mean, it was a focus. This is what happens when you play good teams. It was a focus all week. We practiced, I'm sure, harder than them. We practiced harder than anybody. Freeman could tell you that, but I mean, it's just what happens when you go against a good team. Any good team will find the openings that they need to find.
We're going to do a last call for Howard. Anybody?
Howard, 8 quarters now and no takeaways for the defense. That's got to be a big disappointment. Talk about what you guys are trying to do to get takeaways.
I mean, above everything else, honestly, I think we're more upset about that because we preach takeaways. Like we have a whole 10 minutes during every practice about takeaways, and it just comes from we just have to emphasize it more. Sorry. Go ahead.
Can you gauge the mood of your team right now after this loss?
I mean, what would any team be? They would be down in the dumps. Like, what are we gonna do? But this is how great teams are made. They pick up the pieces and put it back together. You can't. The whole thing Freeman told us, despite anything that happened, was you guys got to stay together. Stay together because obviously it's Notre Dame. Everybody's going to say something because we lost. It's upset. It happens. But we got to get our stuff together. Everybody needs, from coaches to starters to scout linemen, everybody needs to get their stuff together. We got to move on and fix this because we can. We know we can. We can be a great team.
We'll go second row to your right. Final question.
Building off of that, obviously everyone in that locker room is not used to losing many games, and here you guys are already at 0-2. How do you wrap your head around it when you're not used to being in this position?
I was actually watching a video about Kobe Bryant, he was interviewed and asked the same exact question, and obviously it's not very nice, but he said, which, I mean, I take it to heart, is it's exciting because you win. You see what you did well, see what the other team didn't do, and you keep doing what you're doing. But if you lose, it gives you an opportunity to learn. Yeah, they got outside. They ran the ball on us. So what gaps are open? What are we not tackling well enough? Are we not shooting the ball? And this will get us prepared better for the next team.